So I finally saw the New Mutants in theaters, and surprisingly, I didn't hate it. I don't know why I was expecting to, because I do have my problems with it. It's just, I liked the ideas that they were going for in this movie. I was kind of getting the sense that this was sort of like Fox's Runaways in a way. I know there are shows similar to this in the Marvel Fox universe that we won't get to see anymore, like The Gifted, but I liked the performances in this movie and the characters because the chemistry between them, while something that we've seen before, the performances sort of helped to make these characters likable. There's a lot of humorous moments that made me gravitate toward them, and as the movie progresses, we start to get the sense that each of these characters has gone through something pretty tragic in their past. And the thing with this is that we only get like one scene sort of delving into their past and their trauma, and it does come back in a way, but not in the way that really fleshes out the character as much as I wanted it to. So I guess what I'm saying is that maybe a bit more time spent on these characters to really flesh them out more, introduce some newer ideas, some other things to really make them feel like real people. Because here's the thing about this. They start out as cliche characters. You've got the Dick, you've got the lead character, and you've got the bitchy blonde, I guess. And like I said before, that is very much like Marvel's Runaways. That's why it reminded me of that, because they all started out in Runaways like those cliches, but as you spend more time with these characters over the 3 seasons, you see them in a much more different light. You feel differently about them. But this movie clocks in at only 94 minutes, so there's really not that much time to get invested into these characters and see them do things differently, and there's not that much time, I guess, story-wise, to have them go against the grain and go against their character cliches. I hope this is all making sense, because the other thing about it is that when it comes to editing, some scenes involving these characters didn't quite make sense in the placement of it. Like there's this one scene after we've gotten to know or get a glimpse at this one character's past. We then see him like punching himself in the face, and it's a little odd to have that scene there after we already know about his past. So maybe swap them, and have the scene where he is, looking really depressed and punching himself, right? Have that first to create some sort of intrigue instead of having it after we already know what's happened to him. Another thing too is that scene is immediately followed up by a scene that has all the 6 characters like meditating or whatever. So this does fall back onto what I was saying before, where I liked the ideas and what they were going for, what the director Josh Boone was going for, and everyone around him. I like the ideas, it's just, I guess, how they're executed. I reckon just a bit more time given to these characters to flesh them out more, writing script-wise, would have been a lot better. Another thing though, another note, a mental note, is that this movie plays a lot like a horror movie. Yet by the end, when we get to the 3rd act, it plays a lot more like horror, like action, like an action movie. The thing with me is that if you can make a horror movie that is action, and you can make a horror movie that is more of a slow building thriller. This felt like it was trying to balance like horror thriller and horror action into the one movie, and it wasn't really balanced out too well, again, writing wise. So just pick what you want to do. Do you want to be a slow building thriller or an action movie? So one thing I want to talk about is that I was sort of hinting at before, is that 20th Century Fox had a plan in place for their X-Men universe. I don't really want to say what it is, but I'll just say that if you've seen the post-credit scene for X-Men Apocalypse and you go into this movie, you can start to see that 20th Century Fox had a huge plan in mind, right? They had their Thanos in mind, right? And it's sad that they aren't going to be able to do that anymore, because I really would have enjoyed seeing 20th Century Fox's version of Thanos or Darkseid, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I guess that's my review for the New Mutants. I liked it, but in the end, it's pretty standard, I guess. That's all I have to say about the movie. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in possibly another X-Men review, because I know that there are X-Men shows like The Gifted, as I mentioned before, and Legion, which is a show I really want to watch. I've heard good things about it. It went for 3 seasons, whereas The Gifted only went for like 2, I think, so it wasn't really that successful anyway. I want to review them because they're the only like live action X-Men things that I haven't reviewed yet. And I really want to just, because I'm a completionist, I want to watch them, review them, put them in my playlist. Also maybe review X-Men the Animated Series, but we'll have to see. I'm not making any promises about either of these. I'm just saying these are ideas. If you want to see them, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video.